In 2016, Jeb, his brothers encouraged him to run. Second President Bush is encouraging Jeb Bush to run. Now, I don't know if people know that Jeb Bush is maybe a fifth or something degree Knights of Colombo, operant. And I believe that the family has been, gotten us in some serious problems. Okay, first Bush went in to get Saddam out and sounded like a noble objective, and then the second one went in saying that 9/11 was, them boys in the Middle East doing, and so he went over there. And if you notice that when he almost finished, the world almost collapsed. Now when Jeb come in this time, and Jeb resurrect Afghanistan and Iraq, and he go into Syria, and he go into back into Libya, and he create like 8 wars. Of course, everything is gonna be over by then. Collapse of the world. Oh, he might want to take on Russia there. He might want to send out the fleet and talking, but you got to get out of there and sending some guys on Ukraine. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I believe that he's working close with the Pope and the Catholic Church, and so he might be the one to give up our sovereignty. So I mean, it sounds ridiculous. People don't have experience with this thing. I've been studying this thing for the last 50 years. Okay, now and then hearing people talking about the Pope and the New World Order and all this stuff, and the pyramid with the eye and all this, Illuminati and all this stuff. But I mean, I think the Catholics also behind it pushing some funny ideas, because, for example, they're saying that a whole bunch of other words come up to 666. Babylon is one that said, and first Bush thought that Saddam Hussein was the resurrection of Babylon and got a big army or whatever. I'm not going into politics because folks aren't ready for this kind of analysis and they don't understand the issues. Okay, even the Bushes themselves don't even seem to know what they're getting into, because people are saying that they're going in for the oil. But I mean, he was going for oil. There was no oil in this last round that I can see of. I see the world almost get bankrupt. We're having all these unemployment and a whole bunch of other things that are happening. So Jeb, I believe, is the man. Now, he and the Pope, would do wonders for the Catholic Church. And, of course, when the Catholic Church win, America lose. And sovereignty is what they really want. And I think that this Ukraine thing, they're operating so subtle that you don't even know is the Pope behind it. Because, look, when second Bush was going into Iraq, the then Pope was saying that this is an unjust war. How do we know that? If he's into religion, how does he know there's an unjust war when everybody else, Billy Graham and everybody else, can't see that it's an unjust war? It got to be that there were something to do with the whole operation, the whole deal, okay? Because he was a good man. I mean, you can't talk about a president, in the way that I like to talk to, so I'm gonna have to skip that. But the only way he could have known that this was an unjust war, I mean, I could have seen that. I saw the whole thing. I'm wondering how this could happen to America. I mean, if it happened to Jamaica or maybe even Canada or Mexico, I could understand it. But America, them fellas were able to do that kind of attack and all that. Shucks. All the Pentagon, miasma and whatever. You know what I mean? I want to get into that. Okay? And so, these folks don't understand the Pope, man. They don't even understand the Holy Index and the Holy Inquisition. How can they talk about the Pope as a man of God and this and that? When you go into the Middle Ages, you see what they did. They stopped the Christian Reformation. If they were godly, why would they stop the Christian Reformation? Martin Luther had some good things that he was talking about. It's only in Christ we could have forgiveness. The Pope and the priest them can't forgive sins. It's only Jesus could do that. And and righteousness is through Christ only. We can't do nothing to qualify for it, because God expects perfection, and nobody don't mind the holiest man, supposed holiest man, is just a joke. Okay, it's only Jesus. God looks at Jesus, and Jesus says, "My blood covers that man over there," and it's all good. All right. So I'm amazed how folks are tied up with this kind of thing. Even the Pope talking about redistribution of wealth, and they're thinking about a forceful movement. And people, this is so horrible. This is so incompatible with the status of the Pope and my perception of the Pope. You don't know the Pope. You don't know the Catholic Church. You don't know nothing about it. And so this Jeb Bush guy is so dangerous that I think that, I better don't go there. But I think that we need to come together and ask Jeb, please, don't run for government. No more Bush, man. Because I'm telling you, man, this job gonna be the last, man. If you love America, you're gonna be the last of that gonna be the last of America, man, because they can get them doing some dumb stuff, man, fighting over a bunch of war, take on Russia, take on, everything, economy slip, and then NATO and them lose the money over, and then they're gonna get upset and they ain't gonna be cooperating much. And then, we don't have right now. Obama wasn't able to get us to the stars to play with to the moon and whatever. I mean, he's trying to get the economy going, but he's getting opposition from the Republicans, so that perhaps he looked bad and then he didn't get JEB or whatever. I'm not sure what the deal is, but man, it's not gonna be that high enough, because when Clinton left office, he left a big surplus, favorable, in the accounts up there, and Bush emptied it. Now we don't have much. So when Bush has JEB coming and he go off in his wars, man, oh man, I think it will just be maybe 2 weeks in this presidency and things gonna start getting real bad, man. And the Pope gonna like that, because he licking his chops and yes, and JEB getting some, because you see, these Catholics and them Jesuits especially, you don't know, there might be some professors on some campus, because some of the dumb stuff that coming out of them universities, you got to know the Catholic Church behind it. Throw religion out of schools, throw prayer out of government life. What else? So many different things to come with. You don't have to know this stuff, just know where to find it. President Bush came with no child left behind. And when you look at that, basically, I mean, that's such a bad thing, because, with not knowing where to find stuff, and then you keeping back even the bright ones, and you having these ones who can't even really get a job, or who don't even qualified to go to college or university, going to get student loans that can't pay it back. They're gonna come with all this occupying all this dumb stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, man, this Jeb Bush guy, and you know what, I know somebody gonna hate me for this, but you know what, one day you're gonna you're gonna be reminded, oh yeah, this man was warning us with Jeb. Because right now there's some big financiers who want to get behind Bush. Who are these people? Who are their backers? Who's backing their backers? Who is going to guard the guard? See? Who's going to spy on the spy? See? So you got to find out who these men that trying to get Jeb to run with all this money. Jeb saying the family name is bad. It's not a family name. It's even if the family name was good, Jeb being a big, nice Colombo guy is dangerous, especially with this Pope who really eager to take over the world and cause the whole world to collapse, man. But I'm saying that, somebody can hate me for this, but I don't care. Basically, I think this is the gospel truth, and I'm gonna say it, and I'll leave my protection and everything else up to God. He can take care of me, But this Pope and Jeb is a bad combination, or for the Catholic Church, it's gonna be the right combination, but for America, it's gonna be bad news.